everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new to my channel, hello to you. My name is Shamaya, and if you are not new to my channel, thanks so much for coming back. If you are not subscribed to my channel, it's a good time to go ahead and push that subscribe button below. Also, before we get started, I would like to give a quick shout out to my friend and my brother Mike, who dropped 2 new singles last week, and I'm going to link them below. Great songs. You can find them on all music platforms. Mike and I go back like 14 years back, and we've been good friends ever since. He gave me another sister, Delani, and they got married last November, and I had the utmost honor of serving as their maid of honor in their wedding. I love them both, so I just want to support him and let you all know that he has some new music out, and y'all should go listen to it like after this video. Alright, let's get started. So last week I released a video where I shared some lessons that I learned while being 23, and in last week's video I gave reasons as to why. And one of the big whys I shared is that I was in a relationship for about 13 months and I found out that I was cheated on. And I shared that last Sunday, and I received messages on social media asking me to go a little deeper in that and how I healed from that. So this video is all about how to heal from a broken heart. And this could be a broken heart from like a family member or a friend. It doesn't have to be an intimate relationship. It could be with anyone. It could be a co-worker or a boss. But to start this off, giving some background information, like I said, I was in a relationship for about 18 months, and throughout the course of that relationship there were red flags that I was oblivious to, and that I was choosing not to receive. I think I had this mentality of like, oh, you know, I'm praying for him, and I'm praying for us, and so it'll get better. I was seeking God daily in that relationship, asking God to show me what to do, tell me what to do, show me the path to take. And God will tell me, and I'll just ignore him. And then I'll be praying again, Lord, tell me what to do. And God will tell me, and I'll just ignore him. Fast forward to August 2019. It was a Friday night. I went to a Tigers game with some mutual friends in a faith group that we're a part of. And he was supposed to go to this Tigers game with me, but he ended up backing out at the last minute, and his reasons just did not make sense. So I ended up going to the Tigers game by myself. And I tried to stay engaged, and I tried to socialize with my friends, but I was really just upset that he didn't come. So the game ends. And here, let me share this. The timing of everything. Listen, God is so strategic. God is so intentional. Because the timing of how things went down and when they went down and where they went down was nothing but God. So the Tigers won this game. My friends and I, we were about to dip out to try to beat the traffic, but someone said, no, like, stay. They do fireworks after they win their game. So in the fireworks, it's like a real big deal. So we stayed for the fireworks. On our way out, we're talking about like, hey, do y'all want to go out to eat? You want to get something to eat? It's around 11 o'clock at this time. Detroit is popping because they won. We all decided to we're going to go our separate ways and get something to eat. So I had 2 people riding with me. The 3 of us, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings in Ypsi. Another couple, they ended up doing a nice little date night in Detroit, and they went to a nice restaurant in Detroit, and then they came back to their place in Ypsi afterwards. So by the time that I got home, it was close to midnight because I went to B-Dubs with friends. I dropped them off at their cars and went to bed. Got home, showered, went to bed. And mind you, I was not talking to him. I wasn't texting him. I kind of had this little attitude, and I just didn't answer. I wasn't responding to him, but he would try to text me during the Tigers game, like saying you're not going to respond or whatever. Then he started texting one of my girl's boyfriends, trying to get him to get me to respond, and I just didn't. He texted me like right when I was about to close my eyes saying, can you just let me know when you make it home? So I respond a quick message saying I made it home, good night. And that was it. Saturday morning, I wake up and there's about 4 missed calls from my girlfriend Tashana. In the timing of her calls, it was close to like 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. So it wasn't normal for her to call me at that hour. And I woke up early. So I call her and I'm like, hey, is everything okay? I saw that you called me. And then she's like, girl, something's not right. You know, me and Rion, her boyfriend, you know, after we went out, we ended up sitting down, having a nice dinner. And by the time we got back, we saw so-and-so, and it just, something's not right. She gets Rion on the phone, and he's saying the same things, And basically they saw him go into a girl's room who lived on the same floor that they did. But all that we knew at that point is that he went into someone's room and closed the door, and that was that. And my girl Tashana, being the ride or die that she is, that morning while on the phone with me, she goes to that door and she's knocking on the door and saying his name, and no one's coming to the door. But he ends up calling them, and they're like, well, where are you? Like, what's going on? And he's just giving them weird answers that just did not make sense. And at this point, I'm not talking to him, but he's trying to text me like everything's all fine and dandy, like it's just another ordinary day. So my friends end up doing some more investigating. I end up asking him on Sunday, like, were you with a girl? And the first answer was no. And then later that night he was like, yes, I was, but it's not what you think. And then Monday it was like, I was helping some girls move out and I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you to think anything else. And then Tuesday, the whole truth in a raw form came out, and he told me. And the only reason he told me is because he ended up telling my friends first, and they're like, you have to tell her. I'm on the phone with Tashana on speaker, and my other girlfriend is texting me trying to like prepare me for what is to come. He ends up texting me, and I just cut to the chase, and I'm like, did you or did you not sleep with her? And the message that came after that, oh my gosh. I got off the phone with Tashana. I started having a hard time breathing. It's like my chest locked up, and I slid to the ground in my kitchen and just cried. He was graphic in what happened. He's like, I'm sorry for lying to you, and I just, want you to know all of it. And found out in a text message. I ended up telling my mom, like, there's details that I'm sparing, but my mom was already in the loop from Saturday. And I ended up telling my mom, and my mom was like heartbroken for me, and I was just crying. Told my best friends. They were shocked. Everybody was shook because we did not think that would happen. And then here's the thing, from that, more lies came out, more things that I did not know about from our 13 months of dating came out that week. So when I say I dealt with heartbreak, I mean it. I mean that I really dealt with heartbreak, and I really felt that pain. If it wasn't for my relationship with God, I don't think I would have made it out the way that I made it out, in the sense of, I don't think I feel like my process of healing would have been totally different. But because I had a relationship with God, I was able to cling to him ever so tightly and just trust him. So I shared that background information, and now I just want to get to the details of how I was able to deal with such a heavy heartbreak as that. And there are two scriptures that I want to share with you that really helped me get through that time. So let's first read Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, one of my favorite scriptures. And it just says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Verse 6, in all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Another translation says, seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. Psalm 34, 17 through 18 says, the righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. I was brokenhearted and I was crushed in spirit, so I qualified for that verse, and I held to it tightly. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from not some of their troubles, but from all of their troubles. So the first promise we are given in this is that the righteous one, the one who calls on the name of the Lord, the one who believes in Jesus, the one who seeks God, the righteous one will cry out, and the Lord will hear him. The Lord does hear us. He does hear you. He sees you, and he knows, and he understands. The second promise we are given is he delivers us from all of our troubles. Not some, all. Any trouble you have, if it's financial, if it's professional, if it's academic, God will deliver you from all of your troubles. The third promise that we are given, he is close to the brokenhearted. He's close to you. No matter what caused your heart to feel broken, he is near. And the fourth promise we are given is he saves those who are crushed in spirit. And that word save is big to me. That means he will rescue. He is coming after you. He is intentionally pursuing you from that trouble, from that heartbreak, from that hurt, and from that pain. Cry out to God. Psalm 34:17, the righteous cry out and the Lord hears them. Cry out to God. Let him hear you. Give your pain, give your tears to him. So I have a prayer journal right here. And this was right after I found out. And it starts with, Father, my heart is hurting so bad. My spirit is crushed. I know the verse says you are close to the brokenhearted and those crushed in spirit. And I was honest. I said, but I don't feel you close right now. I feel alone. And then I went on and I just shared. And that was part of my healing. So I say, cry out. Give him your raw feelings. Give him the real. Don't try to fluff your pain. Let him know how you're feeling as you're feeling it. The second thing I want to say is you have to trust in God with all of your heart, not some of your heart. When you trust God, that means that you know that you know that you know that you know that it's going to be okay. That God is in control, that God will work through your pain and create beauty out of it. No matter what it looks like, you are standing firm in belief that God got you. I'm choosing to place my trust in God and not this situation. Is my heart fully devoted to him? Is there a part of my heart that's still holding on to the past or still clinging for this dead relationship and trying to revive it and bring life into it? Is part of my heart filled with things that I need to let go of? What is sitting on the throne? Further on in the writing, I talk about how I'm giving my heart back to you. I'm letting him know, Lord, take these little pieces. I'm giving them back to you. I'm sorry for missing the warning signals before, because God gave me some. I'm sorry for trying to think that I could fix it and I could control the situation. But now that I'm in this position, I don't know what else to do. I need your help. Here's my whole heart. It's shattered, but it's yours. Third and big, and I could even end the video here, lean not on your own understanding. Do not depend on your own understanding. I really try to make sense of the situation, but it only put me in a worse position. It only put me in a worse spot, and it only caused my heart to hurt more. I had to say, Shamiyah, stop. It's not up to you to figure out. This is low-key your way out. This is a blessing for you in disguise. So that's another thing. Understand that you can't lean on your own understanding. You have to just trust God with it and know that his ways are higher than your ways. There's a reason it happened, and you gotta trust God. You gotta just, when you feel tempted to try to figure it out, when you feel tempted to call him or her, and when you feel tempted to send that text message, you gotta step back and say, no, I'm leaving this to God. I'm giving it to him. My healing process was slow. It was long, but I was faithful in it. I kept seeking God in it. I gave myself permission to feel what I was feeling, but I did not stay in those feelings for long. It's okay to cry. It's okay to yell. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be on the floor, but don't stay there. You got to get up at some point. I'm able to stand here in all confidence and full joy, letting you know that there is joy on the other side, and there is a greater blessing on the other side. So keep walking. Don't stay there. Keep walking. Have faith. Trust God. Give your heart to him. Know that it will get better. Know that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning, and you decide when that morning comes. I promise you, there is a door that God he wants to open for you. He wants to open wide, because there's something on the other side of that door that is a 320 for you. That is an exceeding and abundantly above all that you could ask or think blessing for you. But you won't get there the more you look back. So don't look back. Let God close that door. Trust him with your whole heart. Submit your whole heart to him. Be intentional to keep God in your space. Make sure that you are setting your mind on him and setting your heart on him, and that can look differently for me and you. And for me, that was listening to sermons on YouTube, listening to podcasts, listening to praise and worship music, hanging out with believers, just staying encouraged, not watching romance movies for a period of time. Like, you have to be intentional. It's a work that you're going to have to do. But I promise, if you do that work, you'll get to the other side. So I really hope that encouraged you. I didn't mean for this video to be as long as it turned out, but I hope it encouraged you. Feel free to message me on one of my social media platforms or send me an email or comment below. I would love to respond to you and give you some direct encouragement, because I know that it hurts. But I also know that that God can use that pain and turn it into something you did not expect. I promise. Alright y'all, thanks so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe below if you're not already subscribed. And I will talk to you next Sunday. Bye.